Maybe it didn't go anywhere. However, if that's a win for you, that's a win. I hope you guys know that. So I'd love for you, if you have any wins, let me know. I've talked to a few people who shared their wins with me, but it's not my place to share their wins. So if they want to keep it quiet, I'm not going to say anything. It's their wins to share. I know it can be a little uncomfortable sharing in front of a group. Matt, I'm digging that Crocodile Dundee hat you got going on out there. What's up, sir?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Also knife. I do that every time I have my machete in my hand, man.
It's all
Crocodile
good, man. I'll
Dundee.
share. I'll share wins. I'm down here in Florida. I on a vacation that I thought I wouldn't be able to do. Took
Right.
push, and I close. I don't know. I have nine deals so far since March.
So
Closed
since
two yesterday while I'm on vacation.
you closed two while on vacation, you're saying since you finished my push class, you got 9 listings?
Well, nine total deals. I think eight of them were listings.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about, man. Cheers. You definitely earned the vacation out there. That's what's up, man. Keep it up. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right,
That's
so
why I get to wear this hat.
hey, listen. That's not a knife. I got you, dude. All right, so here's what's interesting. I have pretty much more people on Instagram than I have on Zoom. That's okay. Like I said, Instagram is a safe space. If you just want to listen in and aren't ready to role play, I'm cool with that, right? Let's get into it. Outbound calls. We want to start off with that. So it can be a for sale by owner, it can be an expired, it can be circle prospecting, whatever you choose to do. However, we're going to be practicing outbound calls. And I really want you to focus on the first like 15 to 20 seconds, making sure you come out the gate strong. Make sure you introduce yourself and tell your name. One thing I would encourage all of you to do is get in the practice of not saying your company's name, especially if you're calling expireds. Because if they were listed with your company and you lead with that, they might just shut down from the beginning. So that's what I want you guys to do. Susan, I'm not sure why you can't get in. If you got a link if you went to Friday script practice and you fill in the information, you should get an email from Zoom. From that email, you should click the link and be able to join. I'm looking for you. If attempt to do it again, if not, for now, let's just go ahead and stay on Instagram. Sorry about that. I'm sorry you're having difficulties there. So, who's going to be my first volunteer to get up there and volunteer and do an outbound call? Debbie, I love it. I love it. We don't grow by playing it safe. We grow by getting out of our comfort zone. So, Debbie, I'm going to go ahead and set up my timer. I'm going to give you 2 minutes total on the timer. What script do you want to go over today?
So I have one here. It's cold calling for listings. I haven't done this before, but I need to make some calls today. I'm gonna make calls today.
Good for you. So you're
Yeah.
calling expireds
Um,
or
anyone like neighborhood, because I'm pushing really hard for my neighborhood or in my geographical area.
okay, okay,
So it's
and
a
you're
cold.
calling to get things.
Sorry, it's breaking up a little
Are you
bit.
calling because you're looking for? Are you calling because you want to get a listing and you're calling the neighborhood
Yes,
doing geo? Okay, perfect, perfect.
yes.
All right,
So the deal is I'm hosting an open house for someone this Saturday. And so I'm gonna be in the area anyways. And so I'd like to call everyone in the neighborhood. Two reasons. One, I want to get a listing. Two, I gotta let them know about the open house. So I have a script here that's cold
perfect.
calling for listings.
Scott Bray, can you be that seller that she's calling with her circle prospecting? Perfect. All right. I'm gonna let Scott unmute and I'm gonna say ring ring, and that's your cue to get started, Debbie. All right, I'm gonna start you on 2 minutes. The minute I say ring ring, ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, my name's Debbie and I'm a licensed real estate agent. I'm calling because I noticed you own a property in Clifton, New Jersey. I specialize in helping homeowners like you get top dollar for their homes, and I wanted to see if you might be interested in learning more about the current real estate market and potentially selling your property.
Perhaps, I mean, I've only lived here 7 years and we're not really planning on moving anytime soon.
Oh, great. 7 years. How do you like
Mhm.
it so far?
It's a great town, great neighborhood. My kids gone through the school system. It's really nice. I highly
Oh,
recommend it.
that's great. I have kids here too. Let me ask you, Scott, do you know of anyone who might be interested in moving into this great neighborhood?
Uh, um, Not right now, but no, not really. Not really.
Okay. How about, do you know of any of your neighbors who might be interested in selling?
Hmm. There are some older people in the neighborhood who probably would move. But I don't know if I don't know if they're ready or not.
Yeah, okay. Do you have the addresses for them? Or
Uh,
phone numbers?
well, my next door neighbor at 3 Stevens Street. They're older, their kids are out, and they've been mentioning it.
Okay, sounds great. Well, listen, Scott, do you mind if I just get your email address? Maybe we can keep in contact. Sometimes, when you think about it, you might come up with a name or two who would be interested in moving in or selling. We can keep in
Uh,
contact. I'm
yeah,
your
sure,
neighbor.
sure. Scott at Gmail.
All right, thanks, Scott. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
All right, I'm gonna wrap that up. Scott, give Debbie some feedback here. Tell her what she can work on. And before you get feedback, guys, if you're joining, cameras have to be on, or I will remove you. You can view it on Instagram. David Radney Push. Your cameras have to be on. All right, Scott, go ahead.
I think a little more value, coming with a little more value. There, you kind of said, are you wondering what the value of your home is or what you would do? There was, I think I needed. You were asking, but I don't know what value you brought to the conversation. You're kind of pumping me for, are you going to move? Do you know anybody who wants to buy in, or do you know anybody who wants to sell? So I don't know, maybe a little tidbit. Hey, this house just sold. You believe what they sold it for, or something? A little more value.
Mm, I like that. I think that's good feedback. All right, Matt or Raj, any feedback for Debbie?
Yes, I would say we just need to tighten up the intro a little bit when you get on the phone, right? I would want to dive right in and ask a question within, like, 10 seconds, 10, 12, 10, 15 seconds. Um, and I would kind of what Scott says, like, I was counting, I think you asked for something 4 times but gave almost nothing. We got to give, then ask. So I would, and you just mentioned before, right, Debbie? You can just nod your head. You having an open house in that area, correct?
Yes.
Oh, girl, that's easy at that point. That's easy. Hey, Scott, how you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna be in your area. Is it cool if I stop by and drop off some valuable information for you? Is that okay? I'm gonna be walking the area anyway, as we have a private open house. What's that? Now he's curious, right? So, like, figure out a way to implement your open house and, like, why you're doing it, and then just tighten. And then we're just gonna tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. In the private open house, a lot of times you should be having an opportunity to invite neighbors maybe an hour before the general public to give them an opportunity to choose their neighbor. And so, hey, I wanted to invite you out to this open house. What that does is showcases how you work, and they see what you're doing behind the scenes to help that seller get the property sold. So you stay top of mind when they're looking for someone, right? So good job, good feedback. Al and Jonathan, I'm going to remove you. You guys can come back with your cameras on. There we go. There we go, Jonathan. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. All right. I had to threaten y'all to get y'all to turn your cameras on. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's
I
go.
would still stop by.
Oh, go ahead, Raj.
No, I would still stop by. Like, you can ask permission, but you are going to be door knocking around the neighborhood, and you could, everybody's gonna might say no. I'm not. No, we're it's okay, but maybe drop something off.
Okay. Let me ask this too, and this is something I
Like,
don't normally do. Does anyone have a script that they use when they are circle prospecting that is actually breaking through and getting people to, like, raise their hand and say, hey, I may have some interest? Or are you using a circle prospecting script that's getting you referrals? Anyone have one that they're using that they don't mind sharing with the group? Matt, go for it.
So I use this one. I'll actually physically go and door knock it. I won't call it, and I'll use the circle prospecting. And I sold 3 houses on the same block. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So I show up and just knock on the door. I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "I don't know if you noticed, but I have there's your neighbor down the street has sold their house recently, and I'm sure you're aware of the housing market. What I got here is a little bit of information on currently what's happening in this neighborhood. Also, on the back, there's a QR code that has my contact information. If you've ever thought about selling, or you know anybody who might be wanting to move to your area or potentially sell, just have them scan this and give me a call. I'll be checking in over the next couple of months as I'll be out here making sure my signs stay up. So." And then just kind of have like I would like you have to lean into your personality if you're going to start on the phone and then go belly to belly, because if you're bubbly and you're happy and you're sending that energy through the phone, they're going to be ecstatic to meet you in person when you knock on the door and you have that private invite to that extra hour of open house or whatever your value proposition is at that point. I just kind of keep it as organic and conversational as humanly possible. I don't want to sound salesy or pitchy.
Love that. And Matt started off by saying, "Hey, I just sold 3 homes in this neighborhood," right? I think that's fantastic. What about people who are on this call that haven't sold anything yet? What could they say that's equally as impressive, right?
Mm-hmm. So I actually did this. So what I did was I went to a neighborhood that I wanted to farm that other realtors were selling houses in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, "Hey, I don't know if you've noticed." I go, "I'm a local realtor." I said, "I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a few homes in the area that have popped up to sell. Have you ever considered your value of your home, or you've ever considered selling, or do you know anybody who wants to move to the area?" Right? Because if the other realtors are selling houses, you might be able to prospect. Don't forget, guys, buyers, right? And now buyer agency agreement in New Jersey, that makes it so much easier now to work with your buyers. So if you've never sold anything, like listed anything, leverage other people's listings and cultivate that farm. There's nothing stopping you from taking that over, right? Because if your follow-up game is excellent, like you're going to crush. Most agents who pop up sporadically in your neighborhood, you'll notice like they're probably a cold caller, they're probably a family or a friend referral, because like you know that these people aren't from your local market centers around you. You know who your realtors are, or you should.
Yeah, I see like there's three signs on my block, and I'm like, it could have been mine, but it's my fault. And what I see also is when you lose out on multiple offers, most likely that listing agent they will do some marketing after, but you still have a right to call the other houses around there where you lost the offer. And they say that home got 45 offers. They'll be blown away. You think they're paying attention to all this. They're not. They've got their own lives. We know the data.
Yeah.
So if you're losing out on your buyers, that's a great way to get into it.
Raj, what do you mean there are listings from other companies in your neighborhood and it's your fault? What do you mean by that?
How do they? I'm not doing it's so I could see 2 out of my window. And last year when it happened, I got really upset. But then why am I being angry at? I'm angry at myself. I should be. It should be part of there should be a whole wheel of where your leads are. You do have to focus on one thing, but I'm doing Inspired for Sale by Owner and Sphere, and my neighbors just say hello. Whether it's through sponsoring events or whether it's just through saying, "Hey, here's and if you're sponsoring events, welcome." I'm going to put a sign out. I'm sponsoring
And Raj,
an event.
I just saw on Instagram, what event are you sponsoring? This is about to come up.
Dog pool party. So I
go to your neighbors and tell every single one and let them know you're a real estate agent. You got something to tell them. You got an event coming up. I just saw that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a sign and put it on my yard because it is my yard, and it's gonna have a QR code because there's dog walkers walking around all the time, and they could just register easily. So that is one way to do it. It's usually if you go join your Chamber of Commerce, you'll learn about what events are coming up in your town. Usually the fees are pretty inexpensive for everything. I'm sponsoring now a soccer team as well because people see I'm sponsoring, so I'm getting my name slowly out there.
Raj, are you willing to be coachable right now?
No. Yes.
All right. And everybody else, I want you to listen to this because I guarantee we're all guilty of this. And before I give you this advice, let me just ask the question on Instagram and in the chat. You can put me if you've done this. How many of you guys, all of your neighbors up and down the street, know that you're in real estate and you've gone out and engaged them and asked for opportunities? I see 1 hand up, 2 hands up, 3 hands up. Okay. So 4. Okay. Total. We got 4 people on here where their neighbors know. Raj, when are you going to commit to getting out of your house and going to door knock all the neighbors on your street and let them know that you're a real estate agent.
Yeah, it's a mindset thing. I don't mind doing it at the next town over in Hawthorne, but when it's
I didn't
my
ask
name,
why you didn't do it. I said, when are you going to commit to doing it? When you're
I
going to
know.
commit to getting out there, man? You're a good guy. You're great to talk to. You got a kid that's in the local school. You got an event going on. You got something to talk about. You can tell them what's happening in Glen Rock and, in Ridgewood and what's happening in the area. You got a message. When are you going to go door knock?
Okay, next Wednesday. I'll look at my calendar Wednesday afternoon.
Raj, call me. I'll do it with you.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
I'll do it with you. We're gonna go
Yeah.
swimming. We're gonna do it together. We're gonna
Yeah.
jump in the pool.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So,
Tribe.
Let's
Tribe.
get on each other's calendar and let's do it. And
Okay.
we'll go out and we'll door knock. I'll knock a couple. I'll show you how I do it, and then you're gonna go. You got plenty of experience. How long you been doing this?
9 years.
Yeah,
And
man. Let's get after
And
it.
he door
I-
knocks. He door knocks. And I just checked the weather and it's not raining on Wednesday, Rod. So August 14th, getting it done.
Why do I speak?
I don't get back from
Um,
Florida until Wednesday, so we'll link up. We'll definitely do it though.
Rod, you speak up because other people need to hear this, because a lot of people aren't going out and engaging. And it hurts when you walk out your front door and you see a competitor sign in your neighbor's yard, knowing it's only because they didn't know who you were. You're operating as a secret agent. We got to stop doing that. So I'm proud of you, man. August 14th, I'm putting it in my calendar. I'm gonna call you and see if you did it.
And there's and one last note on that. There's one or two familiar names, and I'm like, okay, that happens. But when you see brand new names, you're like, that is through something else. That is through connection, a family friend, a cold call. There's something else going on there.
Yep. All right, Raj. I'm proud of you, man. Susan Greenbaum, what's going on?
I want to work with that guy.
Which
Who
guy?
is- Guy that's with the cowboy hat. I don't know what his name is. I'm sorry, but
That's Matt. That's Matt.
Where is Matt located? In Florida?
Well,
No, I'm
Well,
in Jersey.
Oh,
but right now though, you are.
Right now, I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm to go door knocking with that guy because I am afraid to go door knocking.
Can I share something with everybody really quick?
Go
I
for
had
it.
the opportunity. So I got the opportunity. I was blessed enough. I got recruited to a pretty top performing team, which is pretty awesome. So I'm excited about that. And I'm going to share something. Like, we had in our database that we have, which is huge, we had $2.5 million in commissions that listed with other brokerages just this week.
Jeez.
So when I asked one of the top producers, I said, what do you think the biggest problem is and why we're leaving all that money on the table? $18 million in volume. They're afraid to get on the phone.
Yep.
And they're still doing 20 deals a year. They're afraid to get on the phone. So go out in person and bring that person and bring your personality and put it on the phone and put it in belly to belly. It's easy. The transactions are easy. You just need to get here. You need to get here and say, it doesn't matter. If you made $500,000 on a paycheck and it didn't matter if you got listing agreement signed or buyer's agency agreement signed, you'd still do it because you'd be guaranteed to get paid. So just act that way and just no big deal. It's no big deal.
I love that, Matt. And here's what I'll say, and then we're going to get back into script practice. Let me just say this. You guys are putting too much pressure on yourself when you're making these calls. And what I've been saying and push lately is focus on being interested instead of working on being interesting. We all feel like we got to make them want to work with us and talk about how great we are and how great our company is. They don't care. If you are focused on being interested in why they're selling their home and why that's important to them, and you're solving the problem they have, you'll end up getting the business you want. So what I want you guys to do when you get on the phone today, and I'm hoping that this call is just the precursor to you getting on the phone making calls, take your sales hat off. Take it off. Have fun. Follow your script. Have a conversation. Find out why are they looking to sell the house and why is that important and what's that going to do for them. Be interested. When you focus on helping people get what they want, you always get what you want. I promise you. All right, let's get back into it. All right, outbound calls. Who's up next? I'm going to call on people, but I want volunteers. There we go. Susan, who are you calling? Expired, FSBO, Circle Prospecting. Who are we calling? And you got to unmute, Susan. You got to unmute. On your, there you go.
Hello.
Who are we calling?
I'm gonna call the neighbors.
You're going to call the neighbors about an open house, or just
Yeah,
calling the neighbors to
yeah,
introduce yourself?
yeah. Well, I'm on the board at my local. I'm on the board, so everybody knows me now.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna
Okay.
do some prospecting in a neighborhood where I just sold a house.
Perfect. Tim Ho, I'd like for you to be the seller if you're able to unmute. Susan, I'm going to throw 2 minutes on the clock. And as soon as I say ring, ring, I'm giving Tim an opportunity to unmute. As soon as I say ring, ring, I want you to get started. All right, here we go. Ring, ring.
Yes, hi. Is this the owner of 355 South Turk Union, Paramus?
Yes, this is, who is this?
Hi, my name is Susan Greenbaum, and I just wanted to let you know that the house down the street just went under contract for $1,650,000. And I was just letting the neighbors know that the house will be closing in a couple of weeks, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts about selling at this time.
No, not at the moment.
Okay. You've been in your house for a really long time. So how do you like the neighborhood?
It's pretty nice. We have, the neighbors are great. I love the area. That's why we don't plan to move anytime soon. Yeah, we've been here for a few years, but we want to stay here longer.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, do you know of anybody that is looking to buy or sell at this time? Do you have relatives or family friends?
Um, I don't know, at the moment, but also we have family member who's also in real estate. So if anybody decide to sell in our family, we're gonna go with that family member.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. And I have to, continue on with the day. And I hope you have a great day. And I'll talk to you soon. Keep in touch.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Susan. Tim, do you have any feedback for Susan based on that role play?
That's very nice. I don't know if, because it's a circle prospecting, right? I don't know how far you can take with that because I've never done one before.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it feels okay.
Okay. Okay. Marcia or Ashley Davison, any feedback from Susan on what she could have said differently, or maybe asked different questions, or do you guys feel like her call was right where it needed to be?
It was ratchet.
Hold on.
One thing I would say is maybe like ask a couple more questions because you still had some time. Like they weren't pushing you off the phone. Maybe see how long that relative's been in the business. Have they done business with them before? Some people just feel like they have to owe their family something, but it doesn't necessarily mean they want to work with that person. So maybe finding out if they're just saying that just to say it, or if they truly want to work with that family member.
So Ashley brings up a really good point too. Like, we are going to make phone calls. We're going to go on listing appointments, and people are going to tell us, hey, I have a relative in the business. And I've seen a lot of agents just shut down and say, well, why would they ever hire me when they have someone in their family they can use? We got to keep in mind, they haven't listed with that person. They haven't listed with that person for a reason. So why don't we discuss that objection handler? I'm going to let Talika go first, and then we're going to do that objection handler. I have a friend or a relative in the business.
David, one thing
yeah.
I would have done if she was door knocking, I would
Yes.
have asked if I can still leave my card with them in the event that they change their minds, or know of anyone who's interested.
Yeah. Or if you work for a company like Keller Williams, where you have an app where anybody can pull up a property anywhere and see the property values, share your app. It's a way to get your information to them and a way for you to get their information as well. So instead of leaving a business card, if you have access to that type of technology, I would do that, because that way you're guaranteed to get their information in return. Talika, go ahead.
I was just
David, I think she should also would have asked about, like, that's great that there's a family member in who knows about real estate, and it wouldn't hurt to have a second opinion. So can I be your second go-to realtor if that would come as handy to get a second opinion anytime you want.
Okay. Right. Or, asking questions, because sometimes they say they have a family member and that's just an objection, really. Maybe that family member's in commercial, maybe they're not even in the area and they can't really help them. You never know until you start digging into it. I probably wouldn't dig into it unless I knew that person had a desire to sell. This person didn't, so I wouldn't spend that much time around it. But if they did have a desire to sell, I would definitely dig in. Myra, how about you? What's up, Deb Dash?
I would do the same. I would ask if, like you said, if it's commercial or rental. Not only that, but in my case, my community is mostly Spanish, and yes, a lot of realtors here speak Spanish, but a lot don't. So I would go with that as well. If you know somebody, or if you ever want to ask something and you don't want to ask your relative, I'm here for you. No worries, no strings attached or anything. Can I add you to the newsletter? And then just leave it open like that, making it seem like if you don't want to ask your family or friend for whatever reason, I'm here for you. No strings attached. You could just come ask me and I'll help you.
Love that. Love that. All right.
Just
So
caveat, the house that I just listed and I sold to my client back in November of last year and listed just now, his sister is a realtor.
yeah. And listen, I got an expired listing in Wyckoff, and I called. It was listed by an agent in my office. It was her parents' house. I ended up working with her. I got the listing, pay her a referral fee. I ended up helping her parents buy their next house, and I pay her a referral fee. And she is a part-time agent, not full-time. So let me give you some background on it. When she was ready to buy her house in Franklin Lake, she called me, and I helped her buy her house and pay her a referral fee. I got 3 deals from a real estate agent. So let me tell you, there's a way to work this out. When you hear that, don't automatically shut down and think there's no opportunity. It's up to you to dig in to see if you can find an opportunity. So I'm gonna throw the objection out, and I want to get a brave soul that has not spoken yet on this call this morning to overcome this objection. I want you to raise your hand. The objection is, listen, I have a relative in the business. Myra, is that you? You want to overcome that objection? I saw your hand go up quick.
Yes, sure. I need to do something, so might as well. Let's do it.
All right. So Myra, I appreciate the phone call. I actually have a relative that's in the business. If we decide to list, we're going to be going with them.
Oh, nice. That's great. And I'm sorry if you don't mind me asking, how long has your relative been in the business?
Couldn't tell you, 5-6 years, maybe. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, nice. And are they residential or commercial?
They're
Real estate.
residential. They're
Oh,
residential.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's great to have somebody that knows the business in the family. I just want to let you know I am here for you. If you ever have a question and you just don't feel comfortable asking them, I'm here for you. No strings attached. Can I add you to my newsletter? Newsletter, just so you could see what's out in the market?
I don't want to waste your time. I can get that information from them. I appreciate it, though.
Okay, nice. No worries. Can I keep in touch with you? Maybe if you know somebody that is not within the niche that your family member is doing?
You mean like somebody who's commercial?
Whether commercial or if it's in a different area that they don't do real estate in?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. What is your email?
David Radney, Gmail.
Perfect. Do you mind if I keep in touch with you maybe once a month or every 2 months to see how things are going?
I think I'm good. If you want to check in to see if I know someone in commercial, a couple times a year, so I'm fine, but I don't need all the phone calls.
Okay, perfect. No worries. I will keep in touch once in a while just to see how you're doing. And if you do know somebody, that's great. If you don't, I would love to catch up.
All right. So let me ask you, what do you think you could have done better?
A lot.
Oh, good. But what specifically? Tell me one thing.
Ask more questions.
Okay. So if you were asking more questions, give me an example of a question you would ask.
Maybe if they're part-time, if they're full-time.
Okay.
You did say they were there 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something around those lines.
All right. I'm gonna pause you for a second. Now, Kim, do you have feedback on this role play?
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe, like she said, what's important to you? Is she part-time, and what's important to you about hiring a family member? And also, I'm a full-time agent, and if we can work together, and if it's the commission, the compensation, how about if I could show you a way that we can work together and I can still offer her or him the compensation and get your property sold?
Yeah, so I like where you're going. In my mind, Kim, I'm kind of thinking, how would I position this? And I'm thinking something along the lines of, Kim, are you working with your relative because they're blood, or are you working with them because you know they're the best agent to get you the outcome that you're looking for?
Because they're family.
I get it. I mean, come on, we all have relatives that we want to support, so I definitely understand that. Would you be open-minded if you knew there was a way for you to hire the top agent like myself and still make sure that your relative was compensated? If you knew there was a way to create a win-win situation for everyone, would you be open-minded to hearing a little bit more about it?
Yes, absolutely. As long as they're involved.
So what I'm getting with there is what Kim was saying. I'm working on, they want to work with their relatives because they're a relative and they feel like Thanksgiving dinner may be uncomfortable if they don't give them an opportunity. We've all been in that situation before. If I come in and solve that problem for Kim, allow her to hire me, and I paid the relative a referral fee for doing nothing at all, right? That relative may actually appreciate that because maybe they don't want to work with the seller. Maybe they know who their cousin is and they don't really want to work with them. I've had deals with family members. I know some of you guys on this call have, and you told me it's been a freaking nightmare. So sometimes we don't even want to work with our relatives. So if we were just getting paid to like sit on the sidelines, that could solve the problem. And I positioned it in a way. Hold on one second. I don't know what's going on with the hands being raised. I guess this virtual hand, but I positioned it in a way where she's like, yeah, I'd be open-minded to hearing a little bit more about that. I'm not asking her to commit to listing with me. However, if I come and meet her and I knock her socks off and she's like, this is the person I want, but my cousin, I got to make sure they're taken care of. And I saw that problem and I'm able to pay them a referral fee, I will get that listing. I just told you guys, I got 3 deals off one person from being able to have a similar conversation. So practice that conversation. Renee, what's up? How are you?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I was gonna say for that one, yeah, I'll kind of piggyback off of that. That's something I do say too. I have had that come up. And I let them know, it wasn't expired, and I let them know, hey, this may not be for you, but you don't know me and I don't know you. So I'm pretty sure for holidays and birthdays, you wouldn't want to keep it awkward because one, them not selling the property already keeps it awkward, right? Because you wanted it sold. And that kind of goes into the, oh yeah, you're right. I felt some way. So I do that. And I kind of asked, would you be opposed to hearing what another agent will do different to get it sold? And I let them know you don't have to commit to working with me, but at least you'll have some pointers in the future if you choose to go back with your relative.
Love that. And I swear I heard you say something. I don't know if you guys can see this book. Exactly what to say for real estate agents. This may not be for you, but that's the only time where I give everyone permission to use the word but. Typically, we don't say but. However, with that particular script, this may not be for you, but attempt to use that script. Scott, go ahead.
Just to kind of build off that, and I'm always interested in building my downline. So it's kind of like, oh, they're in real estate. I recruit for my brokerage. Are they a strong agent? And do you think they'd be interested in talking to me about a great opportunity? Can I have their name? Can I have their phone number?
Love that.
Yeah. So if I lose one, I pick up a downline.
Especially, Scott, if it's a relative that just got their license. Like a lot of people, hey, my nephew just got his license. We got to throw him a bone. My sister would kill me if I didn't list with him. Actually, can we role play that? Scott, do you want to role play that and be the agent?
Sure.
All right. So I want the seller to be, let's see here. Who do I have? It's not working. Kim, can you actually be the seller on this one and just say to Scott, listen, I'm good. My nephew just got his license and we're going to give him a shot to sell the home. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Ring, ring.
Hey, this is Scott. Oh, okay. Hey, Kim, this is hi, this is Scott. Can you just go into my son, my cousin's an agent or my nephew's an agent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have you hold on 1 second. I'm gonna
Yeah.
cancel. I'm gonna restart this. Kim, I just want you, when I say ring ring, I just want you to say, Scott, my cousin's actually an agent. He just got his license. We're gonna give him the opportunity. We're just gonna go right into the objection. Ring ring.
Yeah. Hey, Scott, my cousin is an agent and I'm definitely going to give him the opportunity, but thank you.
Oh, that's interesting. Is he a new agent?
Yeah, he just got his license.
Oh, that's fantastic. I remember when I first started out and it's like I kind of didn't know what to do, but I was really looking for, somebody to help me out. I recruit for my own agency and I'd like to talk to him. If he's a smart guy and he's a go-getter, we could really use people like that. Can I have his name and his phone number?
Well, what I can do is I can let him know that you want to speak with him. I just don't want to give his number out freely, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, something, I'm sure that he's been told by his agency that he's got to reach out, he's got to expand, and he's got to talk to people. The best thing you can do for him is to give him opportunity, and that's what I'm offering. Open the door for him. It's just a conversation, and you don't want to be a secret agent. You want to be an agent in the market. So, can I have his name and his phone number?
How about I ask him and I'll give him your information?
Okay, well, something, that would be great. Here's my name, here's my phone number, here's my email. If you want him to succeed, he's got to talk to a lot of people. So you sure you don't want to give me his name and his phone number?
Well, I would like to, but I don't know how he would feel. So I'd be happy, Scott, to give him your information and then have him contact you. And if you want, I can follow up with you. And
yeah. Okay. Don't stand in the way of his success.
Sure.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you. I don't know if I'm supposed to say yes, here's his information. Or
What do you think? If you're a person, what would you do? Oh, my nephew, here's a guy, he's a high producer. He wants to talk to you about coming to join his very strong brokerage. Oh, no, I'll ask him. I'll find out. I don't know.
So my question for you, Scott, and let me stop this so this alarm too late. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me ask you this, Scott. Do you want somebody in your downline or do you want the listing?
Yeah, I want the listing.
So I
downline second. Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I felt like it was just a recruiting call. I want you to find a way, like, how can we address the nephew and address getting the listing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I want this next role play to be. Same situation, relative in the business. Nephew just got his license and you're calling because you want the listing. How can you make this a win-win? What would you say to the actual seller? Who's going to take that one up? You want the listing. Ashley, I was actually going to call on you and I didn't, so I'm glad you raised your hand. Kim, I want you to be the same. I want you to be the seller as well, okay? Same thing. As soon as I say ring, ring, I want you to say, Ashley, I appreciate it. My nephew just got his license. I'm going to give him the opportunity, okay?
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Ashley, I appreciate the call. My nephew just got his license and I'm going to give him the opportunity, but thank you.
Okay, and I respect that, and congratulations to your nephew for getting licensed. I know a lot of people love real estate. It's a great business to get into. How long has he been in? How recently?
Well, he just passed his test and he just joined a brokerage, so within the last month.
Okay, and is he planning to work full-time or part-time?
I think like part-time. I haven't really discussed that with him.
Okay, and does he have a mentor or someone in the business guiding him?
That's a question. I'm not sure if his company offers that or if he does.
Okay, and that's something that my company offers. I'm not sure if he, is with the same company. I'm with Keller Williams. But, I know you want to give your, was it cousin or nephew, the business, and I respect that. I would have loved if I had the same opportunity from family right away. But let me ask you something. If he's new, can you trust one of your biggest financial assets with someone who's just learning the business?
Well, if I really don't, I know it, of course, a family, some drama here, and I'd rather keep the peace.
I hear you on that. Don't want some awkward family time over the holidays. Now, listen, if I had a way where I can compensate your nephew, bring him under my wing and kind of show him the ropes, would you be open to, 30 minutes letting me preview your home and sit down and show you how my team gets listings sold?
Yes, that would be nice. I'll have him.
Great. Does 4 p.m. today or 11 a.m. tomorrow work for you?
Well, let me just check with him if 4 p.m. works, and we could just pencil it in for now. How's that?
All right. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
All right, Ashley, great questions. And I love when Kim said, keep the peace. Like I was wondering if you were thinking, Ashley, yeah, and that goes both ways, because if you aren't happy, right, with the service you're getting from your nephew, keeping the peace, right, how are you going to feel when you want to fire him and you can't because you're trying to keep the peace and your home is suffering, your home's not selling, like creating some pain for her. Good job, though, Ashley. Any feedback for Ashley on how she did?
Thank you.
Matt, go ahead. And you're getting props on here on Instagram. Ashley, you did a good job. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah, she killed it. So, I like what you can level up what you're doing. What you're doing is you're leaving little breadcrumbs of curiosity in Kim's mind, right? And so, like, you could have, I love what you said, like, oh yeah, like, especially around the holidays, right? And you, like, something I might have just twisted on that would have been like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine having an awkward conversation if your house didn't sell on Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Right. And so, like, you're not, it's almost like a rhetorical question, but you're dropping that nugget like, oh yeah, that can actually really happen. I've been waiting for somebody to ask the person if they know the brokerage that the guy's under. Right. This is a little go back towards Scott, right? We can find out who agents are based on their name and what company they work for. Right.
That's
Google is awesome. So we can ask them like, oh, what brokerage are they with? Right. I know a lot of people are here, Keller Williams. So, like, you don't know, they might be part of some boutique brokerage that barely knows, what they're really doing. And you can avoid an entire part of that conversation just by simply going, oh yeah, no problem. What brokerage is you with? All right, great. Wonderful. So, what if I had it? I don't know if it's for you, but if you think you would be open-minded to an opportunity where we could work all together, like a big triangle, right? And then, like, you can tweak it and do that stuff, but you knocked it out of the park. That was good.
Thank you.
And I've actually found, I found where they're like, oh, I'm a broker. And then you go, well, and then as you dig deeper, they go, well, I just do this on the side. I have a full-time job. And then they're like, I haven't even a license because there's no fees. Because you realize as you dig deeper, whether it's their broker or the person they hired, well, they do it, I know them through my office. We work together, but they do it, he does it on the side. So everybody claims once they get that license, they're a broker, which technically is not even the right term. You're a salesperson. So once you dig deep and you start calling them out, and then you're like, well, we could still work out some kind of referral fee because I do this full time every day. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Raj. And Susan, what's up?
I didn't mean to put my hand up. I was just grabbing for the phone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes it has an automatic gesture. So there's a script and it goes feel, felt, found. How would we use that when we're talking to someone in regards to, hey, I have a relative who's in the business, they're new, I feel like I have to give them an opportunity, I have to give them a shot. Anybody want to attempt to use that script, feel, felt, found, to tell me how to overcome that objection? All right, Kim, I'm gonna have you give me the objection. I'll just run through it real quick because it's.
Oh, I was gonna do it, David. Go ahead if you want to do it.
Well, I'll do it, then you do it. Maybe they'll hear two different approaches. So okay. Kim, just say to me, I have a relative who's new to the business and I have to give him a shot.
David, I have a relative that's new to the business and I really need to give him a shot.
Listen, Kim, I understand how you feel. I've actually had other clients that have felt the exact same way. However, what they found was that when things weren't going so well, they felt really uncomfortable firing their relative, and it made things really uncomfortable around the holidays. Can you imagine?
Oh, that is tough.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is for you, but Kim, I have a thing that I do for a lot of my clients that are in similar situations where I sit down and I meet with you and I bring your relative into that appointment. And if you're agreeable to working with me, I will pay your relative a referral fee. And if they're new and they're willing to really learn, I'll allow them to mirror me and watch what I do to price your property, to market your property and sell your property. And that way, not only are they getting paid, they're also learning. So the next time an opportunity comes up, they feel comfortable and you feel comfortable working with them. Is that something you might be open-minded to?
Yeah, if you do that, because I just want to get my home sold, but that would benefit him.
Sure. So I can do it today at 6 or tomorrow. That's what I would say. Matt, I want you to handle the same thing using Phil Felt Found. Kim, give it to him. Let's see what he says.
Hey, Matt, I have a nephew that is actually in the business, and I'm going to let him handle it.
Yeah, I completely feel you there, and you'd be surprised that a lot of people actually felt the same way. But what they end up really finding out, which is quite shocking, is they start getting real uncomfortable when it doesn't go their way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like, could you imagine having a difficult conversation with a family member over a pretty big financial asset, right? That's a lot of money we're talking about here, a couple $100,000.
Yeah, sure. I would be very uncomfortable next time I see them.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love the opportunity, especially with your nephew being so new. I work on a team that I have the ability to build a downline out. And if he's new and he's a go-getter and a hustler, we could kill two birds with one stone. So I don't know if it's for you or him, but we can sit down for about 23 to 30 minutes and I can happily show you how we're going to wave a wand and everybody will win. Does that sound like something that you'd be open-minded to?
Absolutely. Everybody win? Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. That's how I would do it.
I love that. I love that. So I have a question for a couple people in the group. Renee Green, are you able to unmute? Let's see. Hold on a second.
She has an invisibility cloak.
She was being so still. I wasn't sure if she was actually there or if that was like a picture because she was not moving. Renee, you were just like, I think it's in the bottom left-hand corner, Renee. It should say unmute. And I'm going to ask you to unmute here real quick. Let me see if I can ask you to unmute. Let's give it one more second. There we go.
Here I am. Yes.
Hey, Renee. So quick question. What do you think the power of using a script like Phil Felt Found is? How do you think that helps you deliver your message to the actual seller?
I haven't done it and I like what you said, but I feel like it gives me a connection so that people can see that I have some empathy and I understand, and that makes us connect on a more personal level, right?
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
People want to know that they're being heard. And a lot of times we just try to railroad people when they give us an objection. By using Phil Felt Found, I'm letting you know, like, I hear you. I understand how you feel. I've worked with people who felt the same way. And let me show you the outcome. This is what they found by going down that road. It shows them that we are listening. We're engaged. And you're going to start listening to what I have to say because I'm empathizing with your situation. I get it.
Exactly. And it makes me less scripted. It makes me sound like I'm actually care. Like you said, I actually care. Yeah,
absolutely. And the script is just the blueprint of the dialogue, right? Phil Felt Found. Like, I want to cover that. What I say after that, it's not scripted. It's me talking about my experience. It's me talking about things I've heard from other agents. And it gets the seller to kind of open up and say, oh, I didn't know that was possible. Tell me more. Thank you, Renee. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have something here on Instagram. Michelle put something in. Let me just go back to it. This was her pushback. Hold on. Where is it? Good morning to all you guys on Instagram. So Michelle spoke to an expired. He doesn't want to list with an agent. He tried that. He tried 3 times and got burned. He wants to sell it on his own. He doesn't want to offer commission. However, she doesn't want to give up on this guy. She wants to push through and attempt to get this listing. So again, here's the situation. It's a seller. He's expired. He's listed with 3 agents and he got burned. I don't know what that means. I wish Michelle was on here so she could tell us what that means. However, he's listed with agents before. It didn't pan out and he's not even willing to offer commission at this point in time. How do we handle that type of objection? Who wants to take that one? That's a tough one. I want somebody who thinks, okay, Susan's going to give it. Okay. All right. So who do I want to be the seller here? Marsha, can you be the seller? Thank you. And Marsha, all I want you to say when I say ring, ring is I'm not looking to list my property. I've tried that 3 times. It didn't work. I'm going to sell it on my own and I'm not working with agents. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for being on here. It's always good to see you, Marsha. At the count of 3, I just want you to say that to Susan and we're going to go right into handling that objection. Susan, you get 2 minutes. Ring, ring.
Hi. Well, as I mentioned before, I tried listing it with three agents, and it didn't pan out. So I'd like to list it independently. The market is, it's still a seller's market. I don't want to pay commission. Buyers usually look online anyway, so I'm getting calls, so I should be fine.
So let me ask you something. You had it listed with 3 other agents. And I know that in a weak moment, you hire a weak agent and they didn't do their job. Tell me what happened with these 3 agents. Did you get any offers?
Well, I did get some offers, but they weren't the right offers.
What wasn't right about those offers?
They were too low.
They were too low. All the offers that you got were too low?
All 3 were too low, and I did the research myself, and I saw that my house is worth a certain amount of money, and I listed it for that. And I also listed it for what the agents listed it, how they listed it.
Okay, so you didn't have any input in the price of the price of what they were listing it at.
Well, I went based on their recommendations.
Okay, so basically you had 3 agents that possibly didn't do their jobs. And to be honest with you, the house wasn't really marketed to me when it was listed the last time. I would say to you right now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have a buyer for your property, but I would like to come and see the property perhaps and see if I can help you get to the closing table this time, not sit you on the market and walk away. I'm a very hands-on person, and I want to make sure that you get the very best treatment that you deserve. How's that?
Well, if you have a buyer at some point, you can certainly bring. I will certainly allow you to view my property.
All right, time's up. Time's up. So I'm sitting here, and Susan, I like a lot of things that you said. However, what's the main thing we should want to know about someone who's had their house listed 3 times and it didn't sell, and now they're saying, I can do it myself? What do we want to know? What should we need to know? Talika, tell us.
Motivation.
Well, there we go. Somebody beat you to it. Talika, what were you going to say?
Motivation.
So, Susan, for me, I would have been empathetic. Like, Marsha, I can't believe that 3 times and your home didn't sell. Now you're looking to sell it yourself. Marsha, you might be better off selling it yourself than working with agents that don't know how to get the job done. Let me ask you, if it had sold when it was on the market, where were you moving to?
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Okay, I guess I did a good job there. I don't know. Marsha, where were you? Where were you? Susan, Marsha, unmute. Sorry, you threw me off there. Where were you moving to if it had sold?
Well, I was thinking of moving to Florida.
Florida, I love Florida. I got a buddy, Matt, who's down in Florida right now. What's important to you about Florida?
I love the temperature. I love the climate.
I completely hear you. Tell me a little bit more about why Florida would be important.
Well, that's pretty much it. You know, New Jersey is a little too cold. I'm getting a little older, and that's my paradise. If I want to
completely
travel, it's easy to travel on cruises, and if I want to go to the Caribbean, I can do that.
Okay.
It's very convenient for me.
I get that. So you want to move out to Florida so you have the better weather and more accessibility to travel. What would that do for you if that was your lifestyle, where it was easy to just travel and you didn't have to deal with the Jersey weather?
Oh, that would be perfect. That would be the ideal lifestyle.
Of course. And how would that make you feel if you were living your ideal lifestyle?
Oh, I couldn't ask for anything else than being able to live comfortably.
I know that's right. So I'm sure with it being, we're in the middle of August now, we're about to approach another Jersey winter. And from what I hear, it's not going to be great. What would it do for you if you knew with 100% guarantee that your home could get sold and you could be in Florida before the New Jersey winter hit? How would that make you feel if you knew that was possible?
Feel great. However, I don't want to give my house away. I want to sell it, but not give it away.
And you shouldn't give it away. And this market is currently in your favor, where if it's marketed correctly and if it's priced correctly, it will sell for top dollar. Listen, Marsha, you don't know me. You don't owe me anything. Here's what I know. Sometimes even the best houses don't sell the first time around, or the third time around. It's all about who you hire and if they know how to do their job and get your home sold. If I could show you a different approach that would guarantee your home is sold and that you're in Florida before winter hits, I'm sure you would be open-minded to at least meeting with me and hearing what I have to say, wouldn't you?
Well, let me try my way first. This is a different approach.
Yes,
I've
it
been
is.
watching YouTube and I've been watching your videos. So I think I am a good agent. I'm a great agent because I've been doing my research.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How many houses have you sold, if you don't mind me asking?
This will be my first one, and I'll let you know how it goes.
This will be your first one. Great. Well, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer you up some support. I have some information that I know can help you. I'm going to drop it by. This will help you, as a for sale by owner, and we can also have a conversation. And I would love to see your property too. It's, part of my job to know the local inventory. So I'm just going to stop by for about 5 or 10 minutes and drop that information off to you. Would tonight at 6 be good, or tomorrow at 4?
Tonight at 6 is perfect.
Perfect. I'm going to come by and take a look at the house and drop off some information for you. I look forward to meeting you then.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep. I'm just getting in front of her, guys. I'm not attempting to list on the phone. When I go sit down with her and overwhelm her with 180 things we do as real estate agents to sell property and show her my track record, she doesn't really want to sell this house on her own. She doesn't know what she's doing. I'm going to show her what I've done for other clients and hopefully take the listing. What I want you guys to understand, though, is look at how much time I spent asking her about why she was looking to move. When I go meet with her, now I get what it is. It's a quality of life, her life by design in Florida. And she doesn't want to deal with the Jersey weather. She's already said that. So if I can have a conversation with her, maybe I won't get the listing the first week, but 2 or 3 weeks into it, when things aren't happening for her and that deadline to get to Florida before the winter in New Jersey approaches, and her motivation increases, and I'm the one staying in touch and talking about the right things, I'll get the listing because I understand the motivation. I hope you guys understand that. Susan, is your hand back up or did I not take it down?
You can take it down.
Okay. Okay.
I have my hand consecutively, so I can just be a pain in the neck.
No, I think sometimes when we have our hands like this, kind of like how you're sitting, it automatically will raise your hand. I just realized it's 9:30 and we need to wrap up. I got to go see my barber and get cleaned up. Let me just say this to you guys. I'm proud of everybody who joined on Zoom today because you guys were willing to participate. Everybody's cameras on. You guys don't know how happy that makes me to see everybody's cameras on, because the way you participate here is the way you're going to participate. I want you to play full out. And I want you guys to understand, I don't expect you to have the perfect answer to overcoming these objections. If you had the perfect answer, you wouldn't be on this call, right? You may be running your own call. We're here to learn, and everybody can take a little nugget from what you've learned today and apply it to making calls. The biggest thing that we're noticing, and I'm saying this out of love, we aren't making the calls. Just go have fun. Just get on the phone. What I used to do, and I'll end with this, what I used to do to take pressure off of myself is I would say this to myself before I started doing my lead gen. When I sit down with people and I'm belly to belly with a seller, we connect and they always want to work with me. So I'm getting on the phones just to set appointments so I can get belly to belly. And I'm taking my sales hat off, and all I'm going to do is call and come from contribution and discover what their motivation is. I'm just going to have a conversation about why selling this house is important. I'm not going to make it about me. I'm not going to make it about my company. I'm not making it about how much money I can make for them. I'm making this call about, why are you selling? What are you looking to accomplish? What's that going to do for you? How are you going to feel? What's your timeline? Because Zig Ziglar said it best. When you help enough people get what they want, you will always get what you want. Keep that in mind when you make the calls. So focus on being more interested in what they're looking to accomplish. And once you understand it, that motivation is the ammunition that you need to get the appointment. That motivation is the ammunition you need to get them to list with you. Too many times we're skipping over the motivation and just telling people why they should work with us. They don't care. Show some interest in them first, and then they will care about what you have to say, because what you have to say is solving their problem. I hope that makes sense. And I promise you, if you guys spend more time doing that and calling from contribution and asking questions, what's important to you about that? Remember, I said to Marcia, Florida, tell me more about that. I'm not just saying Florida, okay, great, awesome. Tell me why Florida is important. You may get answers like, hey, I have arthritis and my doctor says I need to be in a warmer climate for quality of life. You don't know what answer you're going to get. Ask the questions and see what information they'll give you. And the more information you have, that's just ammunition for you to book the appointment. That's ammunition for you to get the listing as well. I appreciate you guys being on here. If you're getting value, do me a favor, tell some other agents about it. We're going to be on here every Friday. I will continue to live stream from Instagram because, again, I do know that there are people who aren't comfortable role playing and don't know their scripts, so they're not comfortable being in the Zoom room. Eventually, I expect you guys to get off of Instagram and join us here so that you can practice. I'll see you guys next Friday. I appreciate you. Y'all be good.
Thanks, David.
Thank you. And Kim, thanks for all the role play. Yeah, I had you working. I appreciate you.
Have a good weekend.
All right, y'all be good.